I just see Sanjeev.
What is that?
Robert's Rules of Order.
Robert's Rules?
Robert's Rules.
Or is it the Prince?
Oh,
What?
Machiavelli.
Glen
you
Rock.
should have that up at the desk.
It's a very simple book.
Thank you.
All 700
Oh,
pages.
thank you.
It's a guideline. It is a good guide.
Okay, I'm going to start again. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for letting us take that break.
Yes, thank you.
To Miss Pasternak. Miss Pasternak, I'm sorry that, since I don't like to deal in rumor and innuendo, and whatever happened with Miss Nesser and Oyen, that's, that has nothing to do with us. I will say though, it's, I agree that it's very important that petition was circulated. However, there's a major difference between the petition that was circulated by the women from the Short Hills Garden Club and the petitions that they gave to us had all the signatures of the people on it who had signed off on it. So those over 1,000 people, we knew who they were. And that was presented to us. The president of the Garden Club presented that to us. Unlike the other petition that was circulated that was anonymous, that no one knew who it was, has no signatures. We don't know. And it was false information, unfortunately. There was inaccurate information on that petition. So I feel terrible about that because it just wasn't true. So that's that. Oh, also, you talked, gosh, you like to talk about me a lot. I think you were saying something about painting houses and ethics violations in the historic district. The historic district doesn't care what color your house is. That's not a requirement. No, it's what the work you do on this house, the inside or the outside. But again, rumors, innuendo, she said, he said, bring the people here. If you really think bring the people here. Let the realtors come up and step up and say, that's what I said, because I would never say that. That's really silly. I'm not quite sure what everyone's thinking about with the police officers. I was thrilled tonight that they came here. I love our police officers. I think they're fabulous. I come from a family of military background and law enforcement. So I don't know what they were talking about there, but listen, we love our cops and firemen. I'm married to one. I don't know what Mrs. Stone wanted me to revisit with that. I think that's about it. I think that's everybody. And then I know there's so much consternation with this, and it is election season, as someone had alluded to. There's so much consternation with the fact that the 5 of us did get up here last year and vote for this fair share housing. Some people felt like they had a gun put to their head. Some people felt like in hindsight or in 2020, they would do something differently. We all 5 voted for it. And then there was a split of votes with who to hire for the site itself. There was definitely Ms. Eglo had knowledge of a plan that we didn't have. There were things that we didn't say. When we hired RPM, we interviewed 4 companies. 3 were compliant, 1 wasn't. However, because there's so much consternation and so much difficulty here, it would be my suggestion that if the 2 of you are looking to reverse your vote, and for the people that are listening, that's what they're trying to do, that I think you should take, in my opinion, so we protect the town, because we don't want a lawsuit. We don't want any more lawsuits. We don't want any more builders coming in here. If we were to break our contract, it would be my suggestion that the 2 of you take the plans, whatever plan it is that you have that you think is important, and take it right to Fair Share and report back to us. And if Fair Share says, you know what, we'll go with that, then hallelujah, bring it on back. But I don't want to subject the 21,000 people that live in this town to any lawsuits and to more housing that could possibly get built. We have an agreement in place, but if you're so committed to it, and I appreciate that, I love the passion about it. If you're so committed to it, then I would suggest you take your plans and you call Fair Share Housing and you say to them, you know what, we are 2 members that we disagree with our other 3 members. Would this be something you would look at? and bring us back a report. And if they say, hey, have at it, then we can discuss it. But I don't think it's fair that we break our commitments that we already have. So I really mean that. I make
Don't
that.
we need consensus? It's not like your decision to say, Sanjeev, are you okay that I go speak to Fair Share about this? Are you okay?
You're allowed to. You're allowed
Oh,
to.
now I'm allowed to, this is amazing. So because you say that the two
No,
of
no.
us can go do this, we don't have to like.
We can talk
as a
about it. But
Consensus as a committee
is
anymore?
it?
Wow.
Are they allowed to? Ms.
I
Ford,
can go talk
excuse
to
me.
them. This
Excuse
is
me.
amazing.
Are they allowed to go speak to Fair Share if they wish? I don't want us to break a contract that we have.
Amazing.
Well,
Going as residents or township
That
committee
would
members?
be in their personal capacity.
Yeah,
Because they would not be contacting Fair Share Housing on behalf of the full township committee.
So all
No,
the
but on their-
residents can go talk to them?
But
I
the
mean,
township but the Fair Share Housing people would know that they were from the township committee and that
Speaking as township committee people,
as the
and that that means that if they say yes, then we're a go?
what I say
So
is
is
if
your
they say
vote
yes, bring us
tangent?
back our report, bring
Are
back
you
the
okay with
report.
that?
Ms. Megan, I'll make it simple for you. I'm not okay with that. Them going back to the
Let
township,
them-
no, I
because-
don't trust it. Only help that we'll get is by the builders. And they're talking about the plan. Well, we have 2025 to 2035. These guys are going to come back.
But
If
Ms.
they want to make any plan, proactively make that plan.
So here's what I'm thinking, Mr. Vanaya.
I'm amazed by
We
this
have-
procedural thing
we
going on
have
right now, because I thought you
a-
follow the rules. You're
we-
making up rules as you go.
No, I'm
This-
not.
Yes,
I-
you are.
No,
Yes, you
No,
are, Maggie.
no, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
what I'm saying is, my suggestion is that you're so committed to that why
Maggie, I
not bring
don't-
it to it?
This
We
is
want a public-
unreal.
We want a public,
All right, so why don't we just take a
vote.
vote on it right now?
well, I want to just say one thing before you do that. Richard alluded to that, the person, Mark McBride, was a volunteer, was the only person I was ever getting my financial knowledge. I didn't even know how Fair Share Housing works. He had a working historical relationship with RPM, as did Beth McManus, who was our planner. So there's
How did
so
we get
much,
Beth McManus? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Because where'd she come from? Where'd the phone number to Beth McManus come from?
The city of Madison.
But who knew Beth McManus was in Madison?
No,
Who knew to contact Madison?
In lieu of Paul
Like,
Phillips.
right, you're just like, where did Beth McManus come from?
she came from the city of
I
Madison.
don't, oh, the city of Madison called
Right.
Milburn and said, we got Beth McManus for you. You
No,
need this Beth McManus? Is that how that happened?
no,
Alex, did you?
no.
Who?
I called.
Oh, you called. Amazing that you knew that Madison. How did you know Beth McManus in Madison?
I didn't. What I knew that Madison was a town similar to ours from a socioeconomic point of view, and that they had started doing their fair share housing, and that Milburn hadn't done a stitch of it. So I called up and
Wow,
I,
you had all that amazing information. Amazing.
yeah, because I do my research.
It's
Tara.
amazing.
Anyway,
Amazing. Why
I
didn't you
called,
give that to Cheryl? Why didn't you give that to Richard and Jackie?
I did
Why-
give it to
Well,
Richard.
Did like that come up?
Listen, I think during the negotiations, we felt like we needed more help to be, I mean, I don't think I don't think that was a secret. We were calling people like Mark.
Who else did you? He's
spoke
from Madison.
We spoke to. we
RPM
spoke to-
Madison.
We
Beth
spoke to
McManus
Mark,
Madison.
we spoke to
RPM
Mark
Montclair.
McBride, who has done financial modeling.
RPM's doing the project in Madison.
Mhm.
They're from Montclair.
But they're doing the project with Beth
Okay.
McManus and Mark
It's a
McBride in
small group.
Madison.
It's a
I don't care
small-
where they're
small-
located.
It's a small group of.
But let's just also
people.
point
Beth
out,
McManus,
And we
RPM.
were-
Hold on,
and we were
McBride.
like-
Ladies, you know,
ladies and
rules.
gentlemen, okay, I would like to point out that, and I've said this at multiple meetings, Beth McManus' first job is as a fair share housing mediator. I believe we got her, we never had a Milburn planner in the room from Milburn. Beth McManus did a great hit for fair share housing. I believe Milburn's interests were put seconds to Beth McManus's conflict and.
Our planner quit when
Our-
Beth McManus came, right?
Correct.
That's why he quit. because
Mr.
we were
McDonald,
we don't
how
know.
long did
Wait.
Paul Phillips work for the Township of Milburn? Approximately.
2025.
Yeah, approximately 15 years.
So 15 years. So he also did not
Because he was taking direction from
Tim
all the
Hortons.
TC people. Don't put it on Paul Phillips.
No, but when he quit, listen.
Yeah,
it's
he
a matter-
quit because Beth McManus
No,
came in.
we
If
don't
we're gonna
know.
tell the
No,
truth, we should tell the truth.
I don't know
that
that.
wasn't the reason.
That
he
is the-
left.
Oh
He
my
left.
God, that
No,
is the truth.
That wasn't.
Oh,
He
Richard,
just,
it's
by the
just-
way, he left us,
Yes.
wait, just for the
Okay.
record, he left us when we.
It was like Ed Buzak, I'm
No.
gonna quit if you take a reboot.
Okay, but he quit when we needed him. Nobody told him he was fired. We needed all the help we could get to make our deal. He quit.
I know, it's unreal.
Well, who
Well-
else did you want to, who else was supposed to help us?
I
By the
know,
way,
okay, so,
Beth McManus is also special master in a lot of, in other.
Right,
courts,
she
in
works
other
for the
courts.
courts.
Where she works.
She works for the courts.
It's a very small field.
so I think we're finished. Alex, did you have any other comments? Okay,
Wait, so
Mr.
we
Brett.
can go talk to,
I think we should.
okay, we should, right, we should vote on that.
you can vote on it, but I think you should go talk and see what they say. We're not gonna, you
But
can't
all
break
the
the deal.
residents, I guess you guys can go talk too, because we're gonna talk with residents, so all of you guys can go contact Fair Share. I think the mayor just gave you all permission for that.
They can talk with Tom Stewart and the township. Right?
Okay.
Why not?
Because she said that she couldn't get these questions.
Yeah, but they could still say who they are.
Sure, and right, they could say who they are and that they would not be calling on behalf of the township committee. It would be in their own personal capacity.
Right.
I actually tried to talk to Josh when I was mayor. I got some email exchanges, and he wouldn't even talk to me when I was mayor about it. I wasn't allowed to, right? So, but I'm allowed as a resident. Sorry, I don't think that's gonna work.
Okay, so
Why don't we
now
just
we'll
have a
we'll put
Why
a motion on the table that the Milburn Township Committee revisits, goes back to Fair Share Housing and renegotiates this deal.
I second that motion. It's a roll call vote, please.
Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Prupus,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thol Eglo,
Yes.
Mr. Vinayak,
No,
Mr. Wasserman,
No,
Mayor Miggins.
No,
Thank you.
thank you.
I have one last thing before we move on. When anybody's being hired, Bob Beneke, anybody in regards to any of this, and you're making that also public to us, can we just make it like public to the public as well? When things like that are happening in terms of as we're moving forward through this process?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, we will now consider consent agenda resolutions.